Today we're talking about Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie. We're talking about HD vinyl. We're talking about compilation records, all that and more coming up right after this.
Channel 33, RPM, yeah, 33, RPM, Channel 33, RPM, yeah, vinyl gear and more.
Hi, my name is Sherry.
And my name is Frank, and welcome back to Sundays on Channel 33 RPM, your channel for vinyl, gear, and more. You wanted it, you got it. Another AMA, Ask Me Anything, featuring the lovely and talented Sherry Landry.
I can read.
AKA Mrs. Channel 33 RPM. I got some good questions today from you, dear 33ers. So what do you say?
Let's get it started.
Let's get at it.
Channel 33 RPM. Question 1 comes from B-Side Records 1. You guys planning on seeing Bohemian Rhapsody?
Sherry, you take this one.
Okay, we just saw it. We just saw it last week, and you do not have enough minutes in this YouTube video for me to talk about my love of that movie. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge Queen fan and Freddie Mercury fan, and the movie just blew me away. It was a lot of stuff I didn't realize, a lot of stuff I didn't know about him. I haven't really taken the time to actually, I guess, research the artist. I just kind of listened to the music. So learning a little bit of the past and how they overcame some of their differences and how in the end they're really just a close family, and they were so close and they overcame all of that. I cried a little bit. It was very emotional. It was very touching, and when they played Live Aid, it was I thought it was a really well done movie. I don't know how close it is to the original, but
to their story,
like to their actual story, yeah. But it was really, really touching, really moving.
Some parts are obviously embellished. Like Freddie Mercury actually found out he had AIDS after Live Aid.
Okay.
Not before. So it was a good movie. I mean, I can see why it's so popular, and I can see as a result of this, there's going to be many more of these biopics coming. I know Motley Crue's The Dirt's coming out on Netflix early in the new year or in 2019, and then the Elton John movie's coming out.
Yeah, we saw the preview for the Elton John at that one. Honestly, that movie and the actors who were in it deserve any awards that they're going to be nominated for. It was just fabulous. It was over 2 hours, you said. It didn't feel like that. I just sat through there and I was amazed through the whole thing.
So you're saying you would recommend Bohemian Rhapsody?
I would. I loved it. It was a great movie.
If you haven't seen it, check out Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay, our second question comes from George White's Vinyl City 1. I have a great question for you, Frank. What do you think of the upcoming HD vinyl thing that's coming out in fall 2019?
So, do you know what HD vinyl is?
Not at all.
So I made some cheat notes here, so don't get this wrong, but here's some Cole's notes on this. So HD vinyl is been patented by an Austrian company called Rebeat Innovation, and HD vinyl promises to dramatically increase the quality, lifespan, and fidelity associated with vinyl LPs. How can they do that, you ask?
Oh, can they do that?
Well, here we go. So a record's still gonna be a record. They're not reinventing the record, they're not reinventing the wheel. But here's what it is. In a nutshell, they're using computer optimization and digital technology to streamline the record-making process. So right now, record-making process is a lot of steam and things. I mean, basically this hasn't changed in a couple generations. Without getting into too much detail, they are using a computer-controlled laser to create ceramic stampers. And stampers are the molds used to press records. By digitizing and computerizing this whole process, they are claiming it guarantees a precision cut, which can improve audio, and they can optimize the audio and reduce gaps between grooves, resulting in 30% more audio on a record, and improved dynamic range, and they're saying it's better for the environment and all this sort of stuff. It's basically introducing technology to optimize the process of making records in a nutshell. When I first heard about this, I thought it was some weird voodoo witchcraft magic, and I didn't. To be honest, I dismissed the whole idea of HD vinyl. But once I started reading more about it, I think this is a great concept. I mean, why not introduce modern technology into the record-making process? And these could still be played on a traditional turntable. Technically, you wouldn't need a new turntable or a new stylus. So I think it's a great idea. If and when it happens, I'd love to check it out. One of the issues, of course, would be price. I mean, how much more are they going to charge, and how much better would your stereo system have to be to actually notice that difference?
Yeah, like, I mean, I guess you'd want to sit down with an older version of an album because you've got some really good equipment. Like, some of your equipment pulls out some really good sounds on your albums. So you'd want to sit down with an older version and then match up to a newer version to see the difference.
To do an A/B.
But they say that they're better for the environment. Like, what, are people throwing out records onto their lawns and the other ones just aren't degrading, or?
No, the way I understand, they're just more involved in the current process of making records. Like, you have a plate, and from that you make a stamper. From that stamper you make another stamper. I'm not exactly sure of it, but you have all these different stage stuff being made, and you eliminate some of that middle ground. So you're saving the environment by using less plastic, and you know, it's not my technology. I'm not going to pretend to know everything about it or exactly why it's better for the environment. It's supposed to be less wasteful, essentially. It's supposed to sound better, and you're supposed to get more information on one record. So maybe nowadays,
they can expand the library that they include on the record.
Or instead, sometimes you get a 2-record set, and it's not justifiable necessary to make it a 2-record set. Maybe make it a 1-record set, just put more of the information on one record.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's a good question though, and I look forward to, and I'll be hopefully this comes about, and I would love to check it out in 2019 if and when we do get some HD vinyl.
Hey, question 3 comes from Charles Stanton 1. What are your thoughts on band compilations? I know a lot of people look down on them. I think they're great. Some bands I just can't justify owning their catalog.
This is a thing, and I've heard this in the vinyl community and in various forums, where people are really critical of other people who buy compilation albums, like best of albums.
Judgy McJudges.
Judgy McJudges, because the whole thing is, why, if you're really into a band, you're supposed to buy their whole discography, and why buy compilations? But I see absolutely nothing wrong with buying compilations. Even bands, I got some examples, even bands I love, I buy compilations, because sometimes you just want to get a variety of songs on one record.
So when you say compilation, you mean like they release their album, they release about 4 or 5 albums, and then they release a compilation would be like their greatest hits.
Yeah, like a greatest hits.
So, but those are also good to own, because when you got people coming over, you don't want to go through an album where there's like 4 like really depressing songs that somebody had released or something. Like, you want to just keep the party going with like greatest hits, so it's a good option.
Yeah, or sometimes you just don't want to buy it all an artist's catalog or whatever. Like a good example is Tom Petty. I'm a casual Tom Petty fan. I think he's got like 2 or 3 excellent songs per album and a bunch of good ones, but you know, let's get a Tom Petty compilation, throw that on. Here's a couple compilations from the collection. Jimi Hendrix Experience, Smash Hits. I got all the Jimmy stuff, but I still like Smash Hits. I'll put that on. Kiss is notorious for doing compilations. I'm not sure, I guess this is sort of a compilation. This is their first 3 albums repackaged into one album. So it's not really a compilation, but I pulled that out. Here's a really weird one. This is one of the weirdest compilations from my collection. The Best of Black Sabbath. I'd never seen this one before. And Black Sabbath has had many singers over the years. This compilation featured, it's a 4 LP set. It features tunes from Ozzy, Ronnie James Dio, and Ray Gillan. This came out, I think, in about, what year was it, 2000 or so. You can tell by the hype sticker, it says 32 digitally remastered tracks, you know, really pumping the fact that digital technology was involved. This is number 367. I don't know how many of these were released, but I found this when we were going on a road trip through the US. So there's the inside. I don't know. It's kind of a cool compilation, which I've never seen since, so I was glad I picked this one up. I said 2000. Yes, it was released in 2000 on Castle Music. Anything else you want to add about compilations?
No, I like them. They're sometimes nice to be playing in the background, like I said, when you have people over and you don't want to skip ahead to a song that somebody might like, and it's just really good for background music. If you're
compilations are good. Don't be a jerk.
Okay, this next question is from Bad English Rex 1. Here's a question for your next video. What part of your music taste does your wife not like? And when you play that music, what does she do and say?
So do you want me to answer this, or are you going to answer it?
Well, you can answer it.
No, you answer it.
Okay, well, I don't know if there's a lot that you don't like. I mean, you always...
that you don't like.
Or that I don't like. You always say I kind of find something to like in everything. Just like I can find something to buy in every store I enter.
That's true.
That's my superpower. So I guess for some of it can be heavier. I think that if I don't like something at a certain time, it's just because I'm not in the mood to hear it. So it's not necessarily that I think it's bad, because I don't think very much is actually bad. So if I'm not in the mood, usually just go and do my own thing. But you listen to a lot of your music, like you'll come down here on Friday nights and listen on your own. So.
Yeah, this is the music room, so people are families upstairs doing whatever, and I'll just come down here and listen to tunes. We don't actually sit down here and listen to music together too often. I play music upstairs, but I usually try to select stuff that everyone might be into. Like you're being pretty open-minded, but you know, I can't see you sitting down and cranking Judas Priest or Slayer. Or anything like that.
I might suggest a couple other songs be played like in between some of them. I don't know if I could sit and listen to it for a long period of time. But if we're out on the deck and just chatting, sometimes I just kind of zone out with what's playing in the background. So
she's pretty easygoing. She puts up with me and all my crazy stuff.
One thing that I love, one story that I love, and I try to mirror that a little bit that you told me, was when we were dating, you always said that your Babcha, who's since passed away, used to tell you that if you liked it, she liked it. And that's what I kind of try to do with him and with our kids. You know, like we all have things that we like, and we all hope that people are going to be understanding and like them with us. Now, you should see this guy in the car with his 2 daughters playing Katy Perry's song over and over again for like the 10th, 20th, 30th time.
I do know all the lyrics.
You are very understanding.
Shh, don't ruin my reputation. Guys, let's end the video right now. All right, let us know what you thought of today's episode in the comments below. We want to add to the conversation. Let's talk about HD vinyl in the comments below. Let's talk about compilations, whatever you want to talk about, because we'd like to hear from you. Otherwise, dear 33ers, I hope each and every one of you has a fantastic week. Until next time, keep on spinning.